A person who remembers and realizes true knowledge. Virata is the fourth one. When you have shraddha, when you have celibacy, and you have good memory of what you're doing, it leads us to what's called samadhi, and that's virat. When you have virat, then it leads to control of the prana. Kashi Raja. Kashi means shining, and Raja means to rule. He is the insight of wisdom. And when you are able to have the discriminative intelligence, the devotee is protected from entrapment of the troops of material desire. This is where Kasi Raja is able to help you to have devotion through sitting straight and meditation, as I told you earlier. And then Dropada. Remember I told you the word Dropad comes from the Sanskrit root Dhru, to move quickly, and Pada means steps, footsteps, to move very quickly. Dhrutam padam yasya saiti. It says one whose steps are quick or swift. Patanjali, in his form of Patanjali Yoga, refers to someone whose goal of yoga is reached very quickly because they have intense dispassion. They have no interest in negative things and negative thoughts. They're so focused. Dropad was the father of Drishtadyumna. He was a king. And he went into deep meditation. Remember we said he made lots of sacrifice. And from that sacrifice came for Drishtadyumna to destroy Drona. Remember we talked about that? So Dropad had made the sacrifice, and he was totally focused to support the devotees' fight against the army of material attachment. The next Panda allies represent the essentials of yoga. And the eighth path fold of yoga by Patanjali is represented by Yama, moral, conduct of a violence of moral action; Niyama, religious observance; Asana, right posture of the body; Pranayama, control of the prana and life force; Pratyahara, interiorization of the mind; Dharana means concentration; and Dhyana means meditation. And once all this is in control, it leads to what's called Samadhi. Drishtaketu is the power of mental resistance, and that reflects Yama. Shaibya is the power of mental adherence, and that represents Niyama. Kuntiboj represents posture, or asana. Yudhyamanyu represents pranayama. Purojit represents pratyahara, to subdue the negative thoughts. Subhadra, the son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu, represents self-mastery, being able to meditate or dhyan. Only when you have all the other ones in control can you do dhyan or meditation. Draupadi is the daughter of Dropad, who is also the king, who has made the sacrifice. She represents the spiritual power or the feeling in the Kundalini at the base of the spine. When that energy is awakened, Draupadi is born. And when the Kundalini is lifted upward, it gets merged with the 5 Pandavas. And when the 5 Pandavas is merged with Draupadi, what do they produce? Children. in the 5 spinal centers that give birth to the 5 suns. The suns of Draupadi are a manifestation of the 5 awakened chakras. And when these energy is awakened, only then can we win the war over material desire. In the Mahabharata, we have the war, and we have the 2 armies. And if you read the Bhagavad Gita, that's all we will learn from it. That yes, there was 2 armies, and this verse 4, 5, and 6 simply means Duryodhana run to his guru and told him, look who's on the other side. They're there waiting to fight us. But if you drill down more into who they were, what is the significance of them being there? And how does that relate to me as an individual, as a human being? And how can I take that knowledge and enhance myself spiritually? Only then we're truly studying the Bhagavad Gita. What is the true representation? We can skip through and read the whole Gita in 1 week. In a day, there's only 700 verses in there. But when we start to study them and see how this really relates to me, how it relates to the universe and everything, to this body of mine, and the purpose of it, then it really helps you to become a human being. It helps you to really master. And really, when people talk to you, then you really say, you know, when people are sitting there bragging about their car and their house, and how many children they have, and how beautiful they look today, then hopefully you will reflect upon this chapter, this verse, and say, wow, how insignificant that is to my purpose as a human being. That is my duty. That is the purpose of chapter 1, verse 4 through 6. If you have an opportunity or you have questions, there's a lot more to what we discovered, a lot more depth on a scientific level as well, getting into the body and the spiritual level, how it relates to every single thing. And it will take a long time for us to do that. I want to give you a gist of it and entice you to study the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to do verse 7 and 8 next time. Verse 7 and 8. And then we will talk about how the evil material desire, the king of material desire, wants to shore himself up. How he wants to shore himself up. When these other armies start to wake up, how he shores himself up. So you can be aware of it. So when these things start happening to you, you'll know how to overcome them within your mind. How to subdue these sense desires and how to focus not only mentally and spiritually, but physically, and how to enhance yourself educationally in school. Whatever form of aspect of life, you can use this knowledge to help yourself become a better, more focused, not just an ordinary human being, but an extraordinary human being. That's what this helps you to do. Prem se bolo Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki. Again, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Thank you very much. We will, while we're getting ready for Havan, Samantha, give us a chant. Yes.
Govinda Ji Ji, Gopal Ji Ji.
Don't be afraid to chant the name of God.
Govinda Ji Ji, Gopal Ji Ji. Radha Raman Hari, Govinda Ji Ji. Radha Raman Hari,